You ever wonder who really owns your food? Spoiler alert, it ain't you. There's 4 mega corporations that now control 85% of the U.S. meat processing industry. 2 of those, foreign owned, one of them is Chinese, and the U.S. government signed off on it, man. Now, let's break this down. 4 corporate giants control nearly all of the beef processing in this country. One of those giants, again, is CCP, Chinese Communist Party. Another, a Brazilian conglomerate. And now over 50% of our beef processing managed by foreign entities. This isn't a supply chain. This is a freaking control chain. Now, to me, this is a national security threat. It's more than business. This is war by other means. In 1954, President Eisenhower warned us in his farewell address about the rise of the military-industrial complex, about how American power was bought and sold behind closed doors. Fast forward to now, we're living in the food industrial complex. You think it's coincidence that during every global conflict in history, food control was the strategic priority? Number 1. Napoleon said an army marches on his stomach. Stalin starved out Ukraine to crush the resistance. And Mao controlled the grain to control the people. And now China owns our beef. And this isn't fear-mongering. It's a playbook. And we're living in this at the moment. American cattlemen are being squeezed out. Not by the weather, not by demand, but by corporate consolidation. They used to make money. Now, the processors set the prices. The margins are gone, and ranchers are being wiped off the freaking map. Check this clip out.
Fair amount of return on the cattle, but the industry has changed dramatically with the government allowing the consolidation of the meat processing business. 4 companies, giant companies, got together and decided to roll that up, consolidate it, and that's just business. But when we consolidated and rolled up and controlled by 4 companies, 4 companies now are dictating who gets what, where, and when. You see, but nobody thought our government would let 50% or more of the beef processing be controlled by countries outside of the U.S. It comes down to our own food source security. The geopolitical situation we find ourselves in, why would we want to have an antagonist own 25% of our meat processing? It makes no sense at all.
So it's crazy, man. Again, the ranchers' margins are gone, so they're being wiped off the map. All while imported meat floods the shelves, mislabeled, repackaged, and passed off as USDA approved. The label says American. The ownership says Communist Chinese Party. You can't make this up, man. Anyway, our government allowed this, make no mistake. They opened the gates and let foreign buyers scoop up Smithfield Foods, one of America's biggest pork producers, now owned by China. They let a Brazilian firm, JBS, take over major swaths of the beef industry. This isn't about food, it's about leverage. Because if they can feed you, they can also starve you. And once they starve you, they can, let me hear it, control you. Don't mention all the freaking fires that's been happening to food plants across the country for the past 3 years. Yeah. Planes crashing. But you don't need bombs, guys, when you control dinner. We are now seeing the weaponization of food, and most Americans don't even realize it. Let me ask you this. Why would any sane nation allow its food supply to be controlled by adversaries? The answer is they wouldn't unless they were sold out. Also, I remember I did a video, I think I showed me driving, this maybe like last year, across what used to be big farmland that had turned into solar panel farms. A lot of farmers are selling the land to solar panel farmers. Bill Gates is a big investor in this, that they have essentially did away with farmland and turned it into solar powered panels. So what are we going to eat the solar panels when we run out of food? I mean, that's That's the big question. Now, here's what they won't tell you on the evening news, that this is a battlefield. And you and I are the targets. Food security is national security. A lot of people talk about tech and this and that. Dude, food, you got to freaking eat. Every day you rely on their system, you become more vulnerable. You know, that's why I'm a big proponent of growing your own food, stocking up on emergency foods and things like that. You need to be able to get water and be able to eat without the government or CCP controlling it. You know, you can do this in various ways. You can stock the shelves a little bit every week when you go to the grocery store. Add a few extra cans of food, stuff like that. Buy rice, beans, you know the drill. Canned meats, things like that. Things that you can can your own food. You can have gardens. You can have your own animals. Okay, but the animals got to eat too. That's the caveat to that. And you got to feed them. So you may not have the property for that. And if you don't, I definitely recommend getting our survival bucket from Nutrient Survival. That's what we teamed up with them, man. This is the only survival food I eat, and I've ate many over the years, but this is the Black Scout bucket, and it's got a lot of calories in here. It's got the various different foods. We have the Tex-Mex scramble. Let me get this open. Triple cheese mac. We've got the homestyle scramble. Great stuff. And these are in individual packs. Southwestern medley, right? These are individual packs so you can grab and go build out your bug out bags, your family's bug out bags. We have powdered eggs, right? Real eggs. We have a big bag of the oatmeal. Highly recommended. And all these have vitamins and protein, all that sort of stuff. This is the kind of stuff I live off of. You have a big bag of coffee. This stuff is phenomenal. I'm telling you, this stuff will blow your freaking mind. And I always added the coffee with my protein here. We got vanilla and chocolate. So you got drinkable calories. So if you're on patrol, you're moving on foot, you're having to get out of Dodge. You also get this amazing bucket and this badass Don't Tread on Me patch. Let's pick it up. Limited edition patch of that. The coolest patch that I've seen. And they made that up. So go get it. You know, this isn't some prepper fantasy junk, guys. It's reality. It's insurance, man. Tactical grade rations, no garbage ingredients. Again, protein and all the various vitamins and stuff. Built for hard times, made in America. Great company, Patriots. Had the CEO multiple times on the show. But while they consolidate power, guys, you need to consolidate your preparedness, man. Stock up, stand up, and don't let them starve you into silence. Get the bucket. I'll put the link below. Feed your future, guys. Prepare for it. If you can't afford the bucket, go get shelf-stable food from the grocery store. You know the stuff. Tuna packets, meats, those sort of things. So that you can easily eat without even having to cook. Protein bars, protein shakes, you name it, guys. Anyway, I'll put the link below. Go pick it up while supplies last. And always remember to stay frosty, stay strapped, and always stay dangerous.